formations are flying your way, but with that might come some roadblocks.
Well, I think you got to take every week.
Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. Never really got that return cranking, but the offense is set up at the 30.
It's a defense that prides themselves on taking the football away. They believe they could impact this game with turnovers, and they get an interception on the opening drive. It wasn't a big return, but that doesn't matter. They stole a possession, and that is huge for their confidence.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Got 3 on first down and 2nd and 7. Wants to go up top. Fires to the tight end. Inside the 15, out of bounds at the 14-yard line. The offense looking for a score.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive. Love seeing these early season top 25 matchups. You can get a really good feel of how good these teams are.
And the intensity is going to be big, too, David, because the players, you know, on these teams, they've been thinking about this game for a long time. They knew they'd have a national stage, and they got a chance to prove just how good they are.
Oh, man, make that statement. Make that early statement. We always look at the end of the season, and what does the community say? Oh, they beat top 25 so-and-so. Here's your chance to put that on your resume that'll pay off big time and late in the season.
Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. 3rd down. And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. A 3rd down try for the offense. Here we go, here we go. From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged out of the air. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down.
On a big 3rd down, love the discipline by the defense there. You got everybody with their eyes on the quarterback, rallying to the football, showing good speed on D. Nice tackle. Love the team defense.
This would likely be a chip shot for the field goal kicker, but they want the touchdown instead. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got it. He will score. Touchdown, Irish. They're on the board first here in the season opener. Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And the ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. That Miami offense back onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they
set, make an accurate throw to the right guy. So a lot of things going on, and I think that you saw that led to a little bit of inaccuracy.
They'll go back to the air on second down. Just missed on the connection, incomplete. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. Third and long. Ball's at the 25. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and fourth down's coming. And the Canes line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. Secures it at the 30. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He did a great job finding some running room on that return and was able to set up the offense with good field position. And they pick up another first down.
Nice catch there. You know, I think back to great Golden Domer wide receivers and Tim Brown, who won a Heisman, Rocket Ismail, obviously. How about Jeff Samardzija? There's a name you don't hear very much anymore, but he was awesome for Brady Quinn back in the day. And all those guys had the ability to win one-on-one. Their quarterbacks knew that if they had that matchup inside, they were going to take it. And I think this quarterback feels the same way about that guy. He is just so dynamic outside.
On first and goal, Notre Dame will try to get it in the end zone. Wants to go up top on first down. Steps away. Going for 6. Touchdown, Notre Dame! Quick strike through the air for the score.
Yeah, now this offense building that lead. It's still the first half, but I'll tell you what, shown some glimpses of why they could become a really, really good offense. Listen, you go into halftime, more of the same, right? Continue to do what you're doing, take care of the football. This offense has looked really good in the first half.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going. He's loose. The 40. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
And that's the beauty of this offense and this playmaker at wide receiver. Throw the ball short, but what he does after the catch, he's just got so much speed, so dynamic with the football, and this is why they get it to him short, because he can take it to the house or make a big play on any reception.
He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
Oh, goes right through his hands, and he will think about that one for a while. It'll be third down. The Hurricanes come to the line on third and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Wants to keep it in the air. Looking down the middle. Another incompletion on third down.
Yeah, and third and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
If you you don't convert on this fourth down, there will be questions about passing on the field goal try. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Right on target this time. The chains will move, and they'll have first and 10 from inside the red zone of the 18.
Well, it's a heck of being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a chip-shot field goal with where they were on that fourth down, but they decide to go for it, throw it. They're looking for 6. They're going for a touchdown. They are being aggressive.
Motion from the wide receiver. Looking to pass inside the red zone. He's got an open man. Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one.
It's important on offense to get the tight ends involved in the passing game. These are big fellas that can run. This guy's a big target, so nice job on that play.
Motion from the back. Snap in the shotgun. That's on the goal line. They go up top to get it down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive.
This is the area of the field defensively. It really doesn't matter what they've done to get here. You got to bow up, try to force the field goal. Nice job on first down and goal, getting them tackled to the ground.
Picked up some of what they needed on first down. Now it's second and goal from the 5. Wants to adjust the pattern. To the air on second down.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdown, Jesse.
Well, the chemistry between these two guys has to be great for throwing into the field because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game.
Kickoff units out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Looks like he's going to bring it out. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Here come the Irish back on offense. The early scripts have one trying to add to this 14-7 lead. Looking for a deep man. He's got it from outside.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
One big play to get it up near midfield. Now they're in business at the 47. Hand off from the shotgun. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Guys, let's take a step back and talk about Notre Dame. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jason.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own roster. So when you only bring a few in, you cherry-pick some elite talent and some real concerns that you have, sometimes it just addresses everything you need.
Notre Dame ready to go with another first down. The corners are walked up tight. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Swings it out to the flat. Turning it on. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
And that's why if you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
Down to the 18-yard line. It's first and 10. He's forced out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4, and they save the touchdown, at least for now.
Just a simple play, get the speedster on the edge, get the edge, block it up really well, and then let the running back do the rest, but I do like the finish from the defense. Listen, you gave up a big play, at least hit him as he goes out of bounds. Take a chunk out of him, make the game physical, make him pay for that run he just gave to you.
Notre Dame has it now, first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Touchdown, Fighting Irish! And they take it in for 6 more points. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
And they did tack on the extra point. Kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Here we go. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Just a short pass to the tight end. He steps out right at the 40-yard line, and now they are in business moving toward midfield.
And that's why they got to keep running the football, man, because play action is going to be a big part of this game plan. You've got to get this tight end over the middle of the field vertically and give him an opportunity, because you just saw how dangerous he is after the catch.
Ready. From the gun, running back on him. A confident, efficient run. Gets it up to the 44.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Just feeds the running back. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. While we're only through 1, these quarterbacks have been lighting up their stat line. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the second. They've got a first down here to open the period. To the air on first down. Throws to the wideout. Complete. And he gets it down to the 40-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
First and goal, and a great opportunity to slice into this lead. And he'll be stuffed. Got nothing. Line of scrimmage still at the 4. Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? Looking for a pass to the end zone to the right. And he'll be stopped for no gain. Still sitting at the 3-yard line.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. He wants it all.
Finding the big fella down the red zone, 3rd and goal. You got to make something happen down here, bro.
That's a really good-looking physical run. I'll tell you, when you think of Notre Dame football, too, you think of all the great coaches they've had, Eric Parsegian, Newt Rockne, Lou Holtz. Those guys would love what they're seeing right now. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, wearing the defense down, running the football when they know you're going to do it. This is Notre Dame football to a T. Beautiful.
Big pickup on that one. They'll mark him out at the 40.
This offense is clicking, and clearly everything is working. The offensive coordinator's calling good plays. The quarterback and his unit is executing. And this defense right now, they have no answers.
Coming out on first down with the play fake. He wants to go deep. He's got it.
It feels like everything this play caller has called has worked so far in this first half for the offense. They've generated a really nice lead, lighting up the scoreboard, and they're staying aggressive. They're throwing the football. They're dictating everything right now to the defense.
Snap it to the back. He's going for the goal line. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Irish.
Another rushing touchdown. That's now 2 on the game. This offense thought they could come into this one running the ball, being the more physical team, and they look like it right now.
And that kick was perfectly down the middle. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Here's the snap, looking to throw. Fires to the big fella. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
I think that time offensively, you're just trying to take what the defense is giving you, right? They're playing zone coverage. You got your big fella just working right over the ball. It's an easy pitch and catch. Just take the profit, and let's keep going.
They'll line up for a second down play. Here we go. Looking to fire. Pressure coming. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
When it gets in long yardage situations, defensively, you're thinking pass, pass, pass. How about the quarterback doing a great job? He wants to push it down the field, but he does a great job scrambling, chewing up chunks of yards, and now making this situation a lot more manageable.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Quick strike complete. Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially in these 3rd down situations.
And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical, and early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
2nd and 10, he'll throw again. Thanks for ground. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
Now, I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
There were serious revolutions on that 3rd down pass, but it's incomplete.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They had given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. third down. That was critical for them to get off the field, build momentum, build some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
And it's knocked away, and they don't convert on fourth down.
Well, here's a classic sudden change situation early in the game. And we're going to see a few of these as the game goes on. But with the defense getting that stop on fourth down in their opponent territory, the offense now has an opportunity to come out here and maybe take a shot.
Got it in stride inside the 20. Defense makes the stop, but the chains move, and it's first and goal from the 8.
Man, we knew coming into this game just how explosive this offense could be, and a big part of that is their ability to throw the football. They've scored a ton of points, and it's because they can generate plays like that. When this quarterback sees the one-on-one matchup he wants, he is not afraid to pull the trigger, and he hits a big throw there.
Motion from the wideout. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. Under fire. And the heat will get home. The quarterback goes down to the 17. When you play backer at Miami, you got to bring some of that vintage Kane attitude.
The attitude, the physicality, the dislike for people. That's what you need at the linebacker spot. Miami's found a few of those guys over the years.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Off play action. Oh, they're after him. They get to him as he throws. They go up top to get it down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive. The magic bean is spinning out of control. Already over 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah, they're being aggressive offensively, throwing the football, trying to take advantage of this defense on the back end. They've got their quarterback right now in the lead.
Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. How about this defense digging in its heels after the big play? It's now third and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking to get in. Give him 6. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
And it's now the second time this wide receiver has scored. Another outstanding job with the route. Great job securing the catch.
And they split the uprights on the extra point. They're up 35-14. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Quarterback may change this route. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Finds his tight end. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. This is a great way to control tempo, control the game, feeding the tight end, and they've done it beautifully here in the first half.
You find great matchups, Reese. I mean, when you think about it, he's too good to be covered by linebackers. You like your matchup versus a safety, so zone or man, whatever you want to do, I'm going to find the big fella because he's going to be open most of the time.
That might be the play that turns the momentum in this game, right? They're getting blown out right now on the scoreboard. It's late in the half. They've got to come away with a touchdown. But that might be the guy you need to keep going back to in the passing game to get yourself back in this game.
The offense setting up shop at the 46, first and 10. Looking to throw on first down. And now it's first. The ball is loose. That football must be riveted to your rib cage. How can you let it go? At least they fell on it. the Hurricanes trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Wants to fire on second down. Going to try to get it himself. And he has a solid gain on the play before sliding.
He does a really good job here. You want to get a huge play. You got to push the ball down the field. You need a bunch of yards. But wait a minute. Now you can just tuck it, scramble, go get you a bunch of yards. Now put you in a great third down situation. Real heads-up play by the quarterback.
Now facing a third and long.
Here we go, here we go.
Wide receiver going in motion. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Wide open downfield. They get him down at the 36. It will be a first down.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And the Canes with a second and short to keep this drive moving.
Trick 9, beat.
From the gun, the ground game. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the first down.
The Canes kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work.
Military stuff.
Wants to throw on first down. Finds a spot in the middle. There he goes. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half.
Set, ready.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside kick. And they catch it and score. Touchdown, Canes.
Well, the head coach has to love what he saw from his offense here. At the very end of the first half, you've got to have an execution. It's got to be great in these two-minute type situations. Really nice job handling the situation by the quarterback, making sure all 10 other guys on offense are on the same page. And they're still losing the football game. But that's a touchdown they absolutely needed to have here at the end of the first half.
Just one of those mistakes that can happen as the kickoff goes out of bounds. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Leaves it with the back. Runs through the tackle. And after that short gain, they'll head to the locker room. It's halftime here. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Stadium buzzing, kickoff team on the field, and we are ready to get this thing started. Bringing it out. Knocked down right at the 25, and I guess he breaks even, bringing it out of the end zone. Here come the Irish, back on offense. They got plenty done through the air in the first half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the third quarter.
advantage to this pass-happy offense.
Yeah, so you're going to have to be ready if you're a quarterback then. You're probably going to see some different coverages. You might see a little bit more blitz in the second half as well, so you have to know where your answers are.
They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. They'll go to the ground. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the second half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Unloads to the wideout. Got his man to the left. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. Big play for the Irish there, reminiscent of a Tim Brown or Rocket Ismail.
Yeah, and I'm glad you used a reference in the last 30 years, Reese. Just trying to find playmakers at Notre Dame, and Michael Mayer, obviously, in the recent years was a guy that you could really, really depend on. Trying to find those golden takes, those elite players out wide is something they've been missing over the last several years.
Well, just nowhere to go there. It started in the pocket. It was collapsing. Quarterback felt it, so he tried to get outside, make something happen himself, give the defense tons of credit. Excellent job in pursuit. They're able to give up no gain.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. They'll run play action. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job and find another play. The Irish will need to move the sticks on 3rd and long to keep this drive going. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, he's ready to take a shot. It's a big stride inside the 10. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. If he can keep putting together games like this, he might have a shot at Brady Quinn's career touchdown record of 95. All the great quarterbacks the Irish have had, guys like Joe Theismann, John Hewitt. Nobody's even close to them.
Yeah, and that's crazy to think about being that kind of a company. And Notre Dame's always been a good running team. And when they find quarterbacks and have great quarterback play, then I think they start to take off to that next level. And so far, he's showing that here today.
Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Trailing by 3 touchdowns. If you're going to get back in it, David, the time to start is right now.
Got to start now. Defense giving up points on that last possession. Again, the offense is going to have to score, and Jesse probably score pretty quickly.
Yeah, you got to go tempo. You're going to have to try to fit in as many plays as you can throughout the rest of this game. But I think more than that, you got to eliminate the negative plays. No more penalties and no more turnovers.
And the Canes can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Wants to go up top. Quickly to the tight end. And he'll have enough for the 1st down at the 42.
Well, the tight end shows off his speed. You see his ability there to separate from the defender trying to cover him on that drag route.
This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10.
Set ready.
Looking downfield on 1st down. He uncorks a bullet to the right. Oh, he just dropped it so close to his 2nd interception of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
And that's a big shot, and that's a big incompletion, but this offense has to continue to do more of that. When you're trailing and you've got to make plays, they got to find creative ways to push this ball down the field and get this offense in the game.
Gets it out quickly.
against man coverage, but they're good against zone coverage too. If that receiver can find the soft spot between the linebacker and the DB, you'll take that throw all day.
The Hurricanes come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here.
Come on, sack.
Snap from the gun on 3rd down. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41. And the Hurricanes will try to pin them back with the punt.
Well, they're trailing by a lot of points right now, and the problem is there's usually only one way to get back into it, and that means throwing the ball, and the defense knows it. And that's why they're pinning their ears back. They're dialing up blitzes. Guys are just rushing upfield, and they're finding it easier to get to the quarterback. They've got a few sacks already in this game. It's going to be even easier at this point because this offense has just dug themselves into such a big hole.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They'll leave it with it. Defense closed down quickly after a gain of 3. They'll mark it at the 32.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 off.
Oh, he's got some space. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Trying to pop the draw. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. Working that left side now. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground cover to pick up the 1st.
You know, and that's why this guy can play 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. You've already seen him earlier in the drive rip off some nice runs, but he can catch the football as well. They're going to find ways to get him going in all sorts of ways, but you're seeing it specifically on this drive.
Here comes the heat. Takes a hit as he fires. Got his man. They get him down, but this offense is set up 1st and goal from the 9.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the 1st.
And this offense shows they will be aggressive. On 1st and goal, they get to completion. Listen, games come down to executing in the red zone. This is a big spot.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He wants to throw it again. And he dropped it. Just didn't look the thing all the way in.
2nd and goal, no dice for this offense. If I'm on offense right now, I'm thinking about who are my mismatches, who are my big bodies out wide that I can throw them the football and they can make a play over top of somebody.
Now 3rd and goal and tough yardage to cover here. From the gun, wants to pass. And it's incomplete on 3rd down.
That's what this defense has to do, guys. They've got to knock this quarterback down to the ground. He's already thrown a couple of TDs. The only way you're going to stop that is with good quarterback pressure.
Smashes in between the uprights. And that will extend their lead even further. That lead just keeps getting fatter, and this kickoff team doing a little running. And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. They've got a long road ahead of them if they want to get back into this game. They have to get to work on this drive. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9.
Set, ready.
Back to pass. He's got him in the flat. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Coming through with that 3rd down conversion, and they'll mark it at the 43.
I love quarterbacks that are decisive and that put the mustard on the passes. When you need to put the ball on a line in a hurry with some extra hot sauce, you have to do a good job by the quarterback understanding zone and hitting that play.
He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Picked up some yardage with that completion. Now 2nd down.
Trumpet.
Wants to go up top. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on 2nd down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down.
This defense was ready for go-balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that.
It's picked off, and another empty drive. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
And this safety is a ball hawk. He's a playmaker. Not only have we seen him get involved in the running game and make tackles playing downfield, but he plays the center field position as well as anybody in college football, and you saw it right there.
Makes the grab. 35, he's got room. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31. Just another big play for this guy who spent the entire game wide open. Couple of touchdowns there, and he moves the sticks again, David.
Yeah, so I'll keep finding him, Reese. I mean, this is a guy that, listen, we're in the 2nd half now. He's already made plays. I know I can trust him, so I'm going to continue to feature him in this offense because I know he'll continue to make big plays.
You know, it's a good decision by the QB because his intended target wasn't open, so throw it out of bounds and you can live to play another day here on this drive.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Finds the tight end. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
Yeah, nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the defense.
Ball's at the 26. It's 3rd and short, and they'd love to pick up the first down and avoid settling for the field goal. Fires to the wideout. And they fail to hook up on 3rd down.
This guy's one of the best receivers in college football. The defense knows it too, right? They've been watching film, and that time on 3rd down, they had him double covered. That's a big reason why that ball fell incomplete.
It is good. And now the lead is even bigger.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw on 1st down. Quickly out on the screen to the wide receiver. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter.
Let's go, let's go.
We've been treated to an aerial show by these two guys so far as you check out their numbers. As we start the 4th quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza.
Set, ready.
The give to the running back on the shotgun. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
And the Canes will line up to punt it away. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. Wants to return it. Here come the Irish, back on offense. Guys, that last trip a little disappointing having to take the 3.
And I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It's a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
The play action fake. Pocket breaking down. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
Pressure affects quarterbacks, and this guy's one of the best in the nation. I don't care how talented you are, but if you're being hit, you're not going to throw completions.
Notre Dame facing a 3rd and long, trying to keep this drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged in the middle, it's Williams. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down.
And at some point for the defense, I'm just thinking, hey, man, like, it's got to be somebody else. I mean, the big tight end has made play after play after play today. And we know if it gets close in the 4th quarter, they're going to look his way, so the defense really needs to have a plan.
Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44.
And I think as a running back, if you're this guy, you're licking your chops right now. This is what you want, right? You've got a big lead in the 4th quarter, and you're smiling because you know you are going to get the rock. They're going to force feed you the football to try and ice this game. He's paying him off right now. That's a really nice run.
And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Grabbed over the middle, it's Williams. They make the stop, but the sweet flowing catch is plenty to give them a first down. They showed great trust in their quarterback right there, and why not? He's had an outstanding game.
An outstanding game, has taken care of the football. Now late in the game, you got the lead. That first down now tells me now it's time to start running the football, run the clock, get out of here with the game.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Trying play action. He'll pull it down. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the hit, and Nick can pick up there.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats, but when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
On 3rd and short, they keep it on the ground here. He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped. He's now over the century mark with 102 yards on the ground, and that will put him over 100, and what a way to start the season. A first down run in the red zone, and he gets it back to the 4-yard line. No farther than that, no gain on the play.
physicality. Let's see if they can keep it up.
His junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And down here near the goal line, you've got to be physical. And this guy's proven it today, Palmer. They've given it to him. He's put it in the end zone twice already. I'm going to keep featuring him.
So you know the defense is going to be...
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add their total.
And add it on again. This offense has done whatever they want, however they want, and this lead has ballooned. When you start a season off, you want to build momentum. You want to defeat an opponent and beat them badly. That's exactly what they've done. This team looks ready to compete for a national championship.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They went 3 and out the last time they had it, and at this point of the game, you just can't afford many of those. Surges across the 30, out to the 32, a 6-yard run.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Canes with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. The 2-minute timeout arrives, and we have certainly seen miracles in college football, and they will certainly need one here. Line getting set on second down.
Pace, 27.
They want to run it left here. And he doesn't find much running room. A short gain on the play.
Well, this running back has been the only guy, obviously, who's touched the ball these first 2 plays. He's looked pretty good. I think it's safe to say everybody in the stadium here on third down expecting him to get the ball again.
Set, ready.
They'll stick to the ground, looking for the marker. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. And the Canes will bring the punt team onto the field. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. And the quarterback takes a knee. Running out the clock seems to be a mere formality here as they are ready to snap it in victory formation. The quarterback takes a knee.